and welcome back to another episode of
Race Rats podcast.
This is the second time trying to film
Yeah.
because it wouldn't be an episode if we didn't have an issue. And at least this time somebody wasn't pulling a face when I started.
Yeah.
So, great.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad the first one just magically vanished.
Great time. We are coming to you again from Media Day. This week we're filming Media Day for Monza, but the episode we are here for is the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort.
Woohoo.
Which was actually pretty exciting, pretty thrilling. And we're going to jump straight into it. But before we do, there's something I want to address that we would usually talk about at the end of the episode. But because we're going to be speaking about parts of this through the episode, I think it's better to speak about it now before we get into it. And that is that in the last 24 hours before filming this, it has been announced that Williams have parted ways with Logan Sargent for the rest of the season. This is something that is actually quite upsetting to me. I've spoken about Logan enough, but I feel like he's a little golden retriever that I want to protect. And yes, he had a rough run. It wasn't great. But to drop him with 9 races left of the season is quite hard. And I know it's not the first time this has happened to a driver, but something about this just feels different. And the fact that they are replacing him with an F2 driver who misses out on the rest of their season in F2 now, probably cannot go back to F2 next year now, and definitely does not have a seat with Williams next year because they've already got both.
Yeah, they've already signed.
Yeah, Albon re-signed months ago now, and Carlos signed in the last month. So
they've just given him no chance, really. That's it. I don't know if it, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense because, like, he didn't finish his F2 career. Like, he still had quite a ways to go there, I think.
Yeah, they plucked Logan after 1 year in F2. And they have said it, he has said it, he does not think he was ready. They did not think he was ready. They think it was too early, yet they did that.
And now they're doing
doing it again. Like, I don't see. Obviously, he's been replaced with Franco Colapinto, who is a great little driver. I don't think he is ready for F1 though, and it doesn't make sense to me that we're replacing one driver that you think is not performing with another driver that's, let's be honest, not going to perform as well with 9 races left of the season. We all know that Logan was getting dropped at the end of the year anyway. There was not a seat with him with Williams, and it was highly unlikely that any other team was going to pick him up. It was already hard enough. Dropping him with 9 races left just does not make sense, and it's a really, also replacing him with a driver that's not your reserve driver, that's screwing their career, and also doesn't have a seat for next year because both your seats are full, doesn't make sense to me. But we're moving on. I wish all the best to Logan. I can't wait to see where he goes next. I know there was a lot of rumors with him not having a seat next year, of him going to IndyCar, which I would love to see him do.
It's just sad that he hasn't really had a proper shot at F1.
Yeah. I agree. But yes, we would like to wish Logan Sargent all the best. And we're sorry to see you go like this. But I know I will continue to support you when we find out where you go. And I will force G to know where it is too. As per usual.
I'll probably forget.
Yeah. So, with that being said, let's talk about the Dutch Grand Prix. So on the shores of Zandvoort, with lots of sandbanks around, it can make it a little bit tough when it gets windy, and a windy weekend they had. It was crazy. It rained very early on the Friday, meaning that when they went for FP1, the track was a little bit wet, so a lot of them went out on the intermediate to wets. Not much happened other than Verstappen spun in turn 1, going in because of the wind and that.
Spun out?
Yeah, he spun out a little bit, went into the gravel trap, was able to recover, did cause yellow flags to come out, but not for long. And continued on his way. We also had Hulkenberg, who lost the rear of his car in FP2, which had him sliding across the gravel trap into a barrier and causing quite a bit of damage to his car.
How did that happen?
So he put it down to brake lockup. A lot of them were complaining about weird lockups that they were having with their car. He apparently locked up and went sliding and went into a barrier and caused damage and caused red flags to come out. But it was cleared pretty quickly, and we moved on. And the only other thing to happen in FP2 was Carlos did not get to run very much because they found a gearbox issue and he was out pretty fast and had to sit it out, which he hated. I hated. We leave it at that. He's golfing. I love Lando's little golfing outfits. So speaking of results for Friday, saw FP1 finishing with Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and Lewis Hamilton in the top 3 spots. And FP2 saw us with George Russell, Oscar Piastri, and Lewis Hamilton in the top. Lando only missing out, coming in 4th. So not that bad. Great running. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of pace from the Mercedes at the moment, as well as the McLarens. But welcome back from summer break, ladies and gents.
Yay. And it's funny because their summer break has just ended, but our weather is now finally turning into summer. We were just talking about how nice the weather is.
If you haven't noticed, we are not adorning our usual hoodies and jackets today. Up. We're not all warm. We're both back in t-shirts this week, and funnily enough, both of us wearing very light colours.
Yeah.
It's not really normal for us.
Spring colours. Yeah. Because in classic Sydney fashion, it is freezing cold one week, and then bam, it's literally just summer. Like,
the sun is shining, it's nice and warm.
Exactly.
I love it.
It makes me happy because as much as I like winter and being all rugged up, it's depressing.
Seasonal depression is real, ladies and gentlemen.
Even here.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
On to the Saturday, which was windy and wet again. Lots of wind coming over those sand dunes, causing a lot of issues for the cars again. We once again had Hulkenberg sliding in turn 11. This time, hitting the barrier and putting it down to brake lockups again. Yep. Which did see the session red flagged. Yeah. Actually, no, I don't think there was red flags for Hulkenberg. I think there was only yellow flags. Because he got noted for driving back to the pits under unsafe conditions due to the damage done to his car.
So he drove back with the damaged car?
Yeah, which they're not supposed to.
That's smart.
Well, no, because if it's damaged, it can leave debris. Driving it back can leave debris for other drivers.
Yeah.
That's why it's unsafe.
So don't they need to get like a...
They get craned out or they go... Yeah. It's fun. But the biggest thing from FP3, and the reason that I spoke about this before we went into the race weekend, was Logan Sargent's crash. He slid on the grass at turn 3, which sent him barreling into a barrier, completely destroying the car. The car was on fire.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
It was really, really scary. There's actually footage of George Russell driving past, and he's like motioning for Sargent to get out because this is not the first time that he's seen a bad crash like that happen.
Stop.
Which Sargent was fine.
That's sad.
Yeah, Sargent's fine. He was able to get out really easily. Bit sore, obviously, but he was cleared by the medical team. But this did cause a very, very big red flag, which meant the session was only resumed for the drivers. Like, they were only allowed to go back out with about 2 minutes left to run. But that's what makes it even funnier, because when you find out the results of FP3, it's really funny. It's really funny. Your top 3, in a shocking turn of events, was Pierre Gasly, Kevin Magnussen, and Valtteri Bottas.
What a top 3.
Reverse grid, baby. What the hell? The grid. It was so
Good
funny.
for them.
Yeah, because they only had 2 minutes, and obviously everyone scrambled to try and put a time in those 2 minutes. Yeah, reverse grid, baby, loved it. Which then sees us go into qualifying, which Logan Sargent unfortunately did have to sit out because they were not able to fix the car in time. So your first 5 out of qualifying. No, only 4 were out. I'm stupid because Sargent didn't run, and Ricardo just got knocked. So sorry, first 4 out. Zhou Guanyu, Valtteri Bottas, Esteban Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo. Next 5 out being Kevin Magnussen, Nico Hülkenberg, Yuki Tsunoda, Lewis Hamilton, and Carlos Sainz. Both of them out in a shocking Q2 exit.
Oh no.
Yeah, not great. Both of them did report having issues as well. Like they were not able to kind of get traction. So that was interesting. Then your top 10 being Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, Alex Albon, Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, George Russell, Oscar Piastri, Max Verstappen, and on pole for the 4th time in his career, Lando Norris. Lando Norris starts on pole at the Dutch Grand Prix.
He's doing really well lately.
He really is.
He's just like proven himself.
Unfortunately, after qualifying though, some stuff came out, and some stuff happened. So this wasn't the starting grid we saw because Alex Albon got disqualified from qualifying and had to start at the back of the grid the next day for the race, due to the car not being up to FIA specifications. So I think it was like
it was a weight thing.
No, it wasn't a weight thing. It was a size thing, I think, if I remember correctly. This time, when something was too short or too long, it was a flaw. I know it was to do with the flaw.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, it was to do with the flaw. So yeah, Alex Albon did get disqualified, and knocked to the back of the grid, which does mean Carlos Sainz gets knocked up to 10th.
Gets knocked up.
So proud of him for that one. Yay!
Yay!
Anyway, moving on from that. Going into the race. Now, Lando gets... Yeah, I know, right? It's beautiful. Lando gets a lot of hate when he starts on pole because he's never won from pole. They love to make fun of the fact that Lando bottles it every time. And unfortunately, he did not have a great start to the race.
How so?
It was really weird to watch because obviously he was starting alongside Max Verstappen, who we know he's a 3-time world champion. Oh my god, baby!
I was waiting to see when you noticed.
Oh,
for reference,
he's so tiny.
We're watching the latest season of Drive to Survive in the background. So
no, you know that Lando he was so small back when he did karting, as you can tell.
Yeah, he's tiny.
That he had to be velcroed to his seat.
That is so cute.
He had to be velcroed. Oh,
that's.
He was just
hilarious.
a little guy, my guy. He is the male version of me, and it's the funniest thing in the world to me. Anyway, moving on. Yes, so we had Max Verstappen have a great start. It was really weird to watch though because everyone seemed to see the same thing, and that is that neither of the McLarens really moved at the start. Like the wheels were spinning and neither of them moved. So both of them had an issue with that with the new upgrades. I guess that has something's not right with it, which they hopefully fix by this weekend. Which did unfortunately see both of them lose a place. So we did see Lando lose that position. In saying that, an insane race was ran, and it was thrilling. If I'm being honest, we saw some phenomenal overtakes. That were just, if anyone ever tries to tell me I only watch F1 because the drivers are hot, I'm not going to say no, but not because of the way that they think. It's me watching those overtakes is the hottest thing for me. That is the hottest thing. I don't care about anything else. Some of those moves are so smoothly done. That is the hottest thing in the world to me. So yeah, I do watch Formula One because the drivers are hot with their racing.
Full gear and everything.
I love. I've said it before and I'll say it a million times again. Carlos Sainz and his strategic brain is the best thing for me. There was I'm so used to it now.
Your mind just blanked.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, some great overtakes. We actually saw Carlos Sainz go from P10 to I think P5 in the end.
Really?
Yeah. So he did great with the overtakes that day. A lot of midfield battles that we missed, but the most impressive thing to me, I'm not going to harp on about the race weekend because that's not the direction we want to be taking anymore. We want to, brief over the races and then talk about other things now. But the reason I want to talk about the race for a little bit is Lando Norris, the man that you are, the phenomenal skill that this man is showing this season. I had actually said online, I think the day prior, that Lando seems to have come back from summer break with a renewed energy and like a different aura about him. And I'm excited to see what this brings. And God, did it bring already. It brought first weekend. Obviously, him and Max were fighting. He got the overtake done on Max. And, I'm like, how do I say this without feeling like I'm gloating a little bit? But you know what? We do gloat for Lando Norris for this one. Lando Norris got his second Grand Prix win.
Yay!
Not only has he gotten his maiden win this season, not only is he closing that gap to Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship, but also him and Oscar doing so well this year that they have really closed in that Constructors' Championship as well. I think
both of them.
I think the Constructors is sitting at about 30 points away at the moment.
Wow.
About 30 points, which is very, very close. That's 2 races. Actually, no, that could be 1 race with the way Perez is bottling things at the moment. 1 race with McLaren boys doing well. They've overtaken the Constructors. Like I said last time, they have handed that Constructors to them. Thank you, Red Bull. I will take this as a win.
Yeah, McLaren's doing like really well. They are
phenomenal.
They were. Would you consider they were like a midfield team for a long while?
Yeah, Lando has helped build this team back to where it is. Carlos and Lando built this team to where it is, and obviously Oscar has, he's a phenomenal driver. I said this last year that it seemed like he wasn't even a rookie anymore. But Lando Norris won the Dutch Grand Prix, Max's home race, just so we're clear.
Over Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen. But that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is when you look into the details of this, the statistics of this. So your podium finishes were Lando Norris in first, Max Verstappen in second, Charles Leclerc in third. Yeah, I know you're happy about that one. In the cool-down room, now the first bit of this was missed because they panned to it after. In the cool-down room, they were talking about it, and it seems like Max is like waving to be like, yeah, bye, like talking about the McLaren and fast it is. And Charles turns around and goes, what was the gap? Like, what was the gap to you in the end? And Max goes, Max goes, 20 or something seconds, 22 seconds. Charles Leclerc's face is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
What? How far were you from 20 seconds or something? 22 seconds? Yeah.
He goes through the 7 stages of acceptance. He goes through denial. He goes through grief. He goes through shock. He goes through anger. He has to process that for a second. The little Windows loading screen came up in his brain.
The beach ball, the little rainbow beach ball.
Yeah, the Google dinosaur came up in his brain for a second. He
played a few games,
because he went from being Lando, we can be world champion, I said, to Lando world champion. Lando dominance.
Slow down for me.
22 seconds is an insane gap. That is pulling a Verstappen on Verstappen.
So that was between Lando and Verstappen.
Yeah.
First and second. Then
Yeah.
what was the gap between Verstappen and
I
Charles?
can't remember the exact. It was not as big. But basically, that's an insane gap, you know. But it's also even more insane when you find out he lapped over half the grid. So I think it was Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu in 19th and 20th. He lapped them twice. So they were 2 laps behind. He went past them twice. And he had lapped everyone up to 8th place. So the ones that finished in 9th and 10th were also lapped by him.
Wow.
That's
insane. That's pretty crazy.
That's insane. And the worst thing about this, or the funniest thing to me, is I know this was the Google Chrome.
The Chrome.
Yeah, this was the Chrome livery. Yeah, because this was a Chrome livery, which I have one of the little Baragos of. This is Silverstone. I know this because this was a Silverstone special livery. Yeah. The funniest thing to me is so many people complaining about Lando and how his ego's grown and all of this
blah
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 blah blah.
Might as well be that little cat that goes ee wee wee.
Pretty much. But people saying a Lando dominance would bore fans, as if we haven't had a Max. Girl. Yeah, people are saying that a Lando dominance would bore fans, as if we didn't have a Verstappen dominance.
Yeah, that's kind of been really boring. Like, no offense.
Real racing is back, ladies and gentlemen. But I don't think that a Lando dominance would bore fans at all. I think it would annoy Lando haters, because what are they going to shit talk now if they can't shit talk him?
He didn't deserve his win. He didn't earn it. He did this and that. Blah blah blah.
So not only did he win the Dutch Grand Prix, he also got Driver of the Day. And in such an impressive move, he asked who had fastest lap, which I think at the time was Hamilton. And in that final lap he did, also took fastest lap of the race. Thank you, Lando Norris. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What an impressive man. I'm sorry. I know I feel a little bit biased saying this, but also, if we're watching the same race, phenomenal. And no one can say this one was a gifted win or a safety car win.
Really
22. It was almost 23 second gap. I think it was like 22.8, 22.9. So almost 23 second gap. You can't say he didn't deserve this one. So I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes. Lando Norris dominance when? Now? Question mark? Love to see it. Yeah, I'm still blown away by that. Like, I could talk about this for hours, but we're not. We're not going to talk about this because we're going to go into what we said we wanted to do from now on, and that's talk about media. We love media.
The dramatic and the scandalous.
So during media duties, when Lando got pole, there was one presenter that kept using a word that we don't like to hear, and Lando did not like to hear. And that is, are you desperate for the win now?
Yeah,
you've never won from pole, and you've got
itchy.
this. He's like, are you desperate to win because you got pole now? Lando said, I'm not going to give you the headline that you want. I know what you're trying to bait. I'm not going to give it to you. I know the little headline. Keep saying that word, desperate. I'm not desperate.
He's clever.
Shocking.
He shut her down.
As a guy.
He shut.
Yeah. Really, really impressive dominance. I love it. I'm so excited. But media, as I said, shut him down really, really fast. Lando Norris is not desperate for the win, ladies and gentlemen. Lando Norris is focused. Focused.
He's what's another word? Yeah, he's just like, he set his goals. He's just working towards them.
He has. He also shut down another little rumor over the weekend, which made me laugh. Because I don't know if I've fully spoken about it on here, because it was something I wanted to steer away from gossip side of the paddock. Yeah, I don't know if I've spoken about this before, because I feel like it was part of the paddock gossip that I wanted to stay away from, because I did not want to give it more light than it already had because I don't believe it. But there was rumors flying around of Lando dating a certain actress model that is quite problematic, and everyone has had something to say about this. She's very problematic, very, yeah. She kind of shoves it in your face, but nothing was ever confirmed. It was always rumors and speculation because they were seen together. And she loves to hint. Everyone kind of thought if it was anything, it was a PR relationship, but she loved to hint that they were together. And this has been an ongoing thing. And obviously, during summer break, they were on holiday with friends together. It was a big friends trip. He was with Max Futrell. Loved seeing that. Keegan Palmer also went and joined them in Ibiza after he won his gold medal, which I love.
How else would you celebrate?
He literally was like, I think it was in an interview, it was like, yeah, I'm off to Ibiza to celebrate with Lando Norris, my friend. So love that. Can't even escape F1 in the Olympics. So it was a big friends trip. She was there, he was there, everyone speculated, but obviously there's no photos of them together. He comes back from summer break and he's being interviewed up on the fan stage, and they asked about the puppy video from the start of summer break and asked if that made him want a dog now. And he said no. You can kind of see it on his face. He was like, no, like I don't have time for it at the moment, and if I was to get one, I'd need to have a girlfriend, because obviously, with Pierre getting Simba, he's got Kika who looks after to Simba's her baby. With Charlotte and Alex getting Leo, Alex looks after Leo. Like a lot of them have a partner that looks after the dog while they're on their race weekends. And Lando goes, I need a girlfriend for that, and I don't have one. So shut down the rumors for once and all.
That was a hard shutdown.
Hard shutdown. Which I thought was just so funny because nobody asked him to say that. They asked about the dog, and he was like, I'm single, just so we're all clear. Thank you, I guess. Love knowing that. It did come out after his win, though, that they did start following each other on Instagram finally, because they hadn't been following each other, but obviously liked each other's photos and stuff. Everyone was like, but he's just confirmed that he's single. What's going on? Honestly, the thing that makes sense to me is they were friends before this. So, like, he's just confirmed he's single. He feels a little bit more comfortable following said friend.
Because then it's not going to be speculated.
Yeah. So, we don't have to touch on that topic anymore. Lando Norris stays single. We leave it at that. If he wants a dog, I have 3. I'm willing to share with him.
Willing to donate.
I'm willing to share. I'll take care of them. He can just see them. I don't know. One keeps barking at us tonight. Actually, not at us, at Nick DeVries. So,
and the ghost trying to come into the apartment.
Have that one. The other major thing I want to talk about from the media pen, and this goes back to what we spoke about before we spoke about the race weekend, is footage has come to light in the pre-race media duties of George Russell walking towards Daniel Ricciardo and obviously telling him something, and Daniel Ricciardo's face says it all. Everyone has kind of speculated, and it would make a lot of sense if it is, that he was being told the news about Logan Sargent and that this was going to be his final race. And Daniel's face says it all. As somebody who also has ADHD, our face gives away everything. And he stood there with wide eyes being like, what? So I have a feeling that yeah, they found out about Logan. And it's sad. I feel like I want to cry again.
Why would they? I just think it's hard for them that like they find out like that they're not told like at a certain time.
Well, there's a radio message from Logan on the weekend, or from his race engineer, And I don't remember it verbatim, but basically, kind of heartfelt. He does say, "Good luck, buddy." And people have now speculated that "good luck, buddy" was
because
it was his last race.
Worm on a string.
So yeah, it's quite sad.
Can I have your worm on a string?
Yes, you can have the worm on a string.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's sad, and we go into a new race weekend today, knowing that Logan Sargent is no longer in the paddock with us. Look, I look forward to seeing what Colapinto can do in an F1 car. But at the end of the day, it doesn't feel right or real. Moving around.
That's right. I'm just a bit
Squiggly again, ladies and gentlemen.
Squiggly is my middle name.
Squiggly is my middle name.
Yep. I can't sit.
I have no idea what it's like to have won a Formula One race. Now he has 2 wins.
Snaps.
Now he has 2 wins.
Yes. Wait, is that what he just said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't realize.
That's what,
now
yeah, no,
because
this was his Silverstone podium when he came P2 at his home race. And he's like, yeah, I don't know what it feels like to have a Formula One win, but this feels pretty close.
And he's got a taste for it.
He's got a taste for it. He's got a taste for blood.
For blood.
That's all.
Vampire.
He's a vampire. Well, vampire. I don't think there's anything else to talk about for the race weekend. We'll be back next week for Monza, who have to say it now, some of the ugliest trophies I've ever seen, but that's a whole other thing. I don't know why.
They're probably like handcrafted by
everyone hates these.
Just because everyone hates something doesn't mean you should.
I will show you these trophies after we're done filming. Okay. I don't know what the fuck the thought behind this design was. Speaking of design flaws, Ferrari, what is with your Monza suits? Anyway, we'll talk more about that next week.
I need to see them.
You will after this. Next week we'll be filming this weekend's race for Monza, and then we will not be together for the next episode.
I'm going away for a while.
She's going away for a while. Because she's going away for a while, and I get sad, and we have to film the Azerbaijan episode in that time. Just one. She's back for Singapore. The Azerbaijan episode will be a little bit different again. Gonna be some
new faces, so you don't have to see this ugly mug for a week.
Yeah, we're leaving it up to my dogs. Yep. No, I will be going away for a weekend. I'm going to go visit some friends of mine in another state, who are big F1 fans as well, and I have asked them to join me for an episode, so I don't have to sit here alone and yap to myself.
Yeah, because we were thinking of like
illegally.
We were gonna try and do like a Zoom kind of thing because I'm gonna be in Europe, so very different time zones. And we decided that was not gonna work. So yeah, there'll be some new face, some maybe
new faces.
Mm.
I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna tell you who, and you will just see it when we do the Azerbaijan episode. For now, though. Actually, there's one more thing I want to talk about just because it's come out just before we filmed this. Oh my god, yeah, I almost completely forgot like multiple things. First of all, I completely forgot to mention that in FP1, we had a few rookies doing their testing with FP1 from Junior Series. So there's that. We have a new signing on the grid. We have a new signing on the grid, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody else has signed a contract for next year. Jack Doohan, welcome to the F1 grid with Alpine.
Aussie.
I mean, we all saw this coming.
We love another Aussie on the grid.
Yeah.
That's 3 of them now.
3? Well, yeah, currently.
Yeah.
Oh, 4. Well, no, okay. No. Because currently he's not on the grid because he's not on the grid till next year. But this is why this just kicked it all into my brain is he was on Australian News doing an interview. And he was speaking about how excited he is for his F1 debut next year and, all of this and how he's so excited to be, Australia being the first race and being on the grid alongside, Oscar Piastri and Daniel Ricciardo. So pretty sure Jack Doohan just accidentally announced that Daniel Ricciardo
has a seat.
So excited for that one. We wait and see. Excited to have Jack Doohan. We'll be even more excited if we get all three of them.
It'll be amazing though to have 3 Aussies, like actually.
And I think it would be even better if we also get Liam Lawson. Thank you.
He's a Kiwi. Though.
Kiwi. Sienna.
Like he'll be good, but not as good as having an Aussie.
No,
he's Kiwi.
Yeah, and I spent half my.
Yeah, I like the Kiwis, but I love you, Kiwis, love New Zealand, Middle Earth, my fave. But yeah, Aussies on the grid, please.
Excited to see Jack Doohan next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another episode done. We look forward to seeing you next week for Monza, the Temple of Speed,
Temple of Doom,
the home race for Ferrari, and hopefully you will see me beaming with pride from a Carlos Sainz win with his last Monza race with Ferrari. But for now, we leave it at that. G's going to try and take my skin, and then we're going to go on our little hot girl walk. So
yeah, we're going for a little walk.
Little walk.
A big
little walk.
A big walk.
Big walk in the middle of the night. Isn't it fun that you have scary dog privileges?
Yeah, you're my scary dog. I mean, you're
the Doberman friend for now.
You're like the aggressive Chihuahua though, because you're so small, and I'm like the big goofy golden retriever. I think.
I'm more Doberman than Chihuahua.
Yeah, but you're
small. I don't shake like a Chihuahua.
You're small.
Yeah, you can get small Dobermans.
Can you? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, you're a Doberman.
Mini pincers.
I'm just
Mini pincers. Basically just a small Doberman. Small Doberman.
If I was a dog, what do you think I would be?
Golden retriever.
Okay.
Yeah. There was there was no thought about that, and I know exactly what it would be.
Yeah, I thought so too. I'm like Doug from Up, like a bit stupid.
No, you know what? I don't know why this just came to my mind. So last week, my brother actually got a new dog. The cutest thing in the world. I'll include a little photo of him. He is my new bestest friend. We are inseparable. He is an Aussie Shepherd and the most docile thing you'll ever see.
He's fluffy.
He's so fluffy.
I haven't met him yet, but I just know he's fluffy.
He literally will just like flop down wherever. Like he'll stop for 2 seconds, lie down on the floor, go to sleep. I don't know why. He thought he got trapped on the other side of the fence the other day and was like, all right, nap time. And I was like, dude, you can come back through. And he went,
how tall is Hulkenberg?
Oh.
Yeah, he just looked really attractive in that one scene just now.
We're ending this now.
Look at him.
Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Do your thing before I get really concerned.
What's wrong with Hulkenberg?
Leave the Hastilfs out of this.
So you agree they're jealous?
They're the Hastilfs, dude. We don't talk about the Hastilfs.
Alright, we're ending this now.
Goodbye. Let's go on our little walk.